The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a golden hue over the bustling city. The sound of train whistles echoed through the station as passengers hurried to catch their trains. Among the crowd was an elderly man, grey-haired and kind-eyed, guiding his 11-year-old son, Daniel, onto a train. Daniel held tightly to his father's hand, his steps tentative yet full of excitement. As they found their seats by the window, the old man gently patted Daniel's shoulder. "Are you ready for this, son?" he asked, his voice filled with a mix of hope and nervousness. Daniel nodded eagerly, even though he couldn't quite see the expression on his father's face yet. The train began to move, slowly at first, then picking up speed as it left the station behind. Daniel leaned forward, his face close to the window. For the first time in his life, he was about to see the world with his own eyes. "Dad," Daniel whispered, his voice trembling with anticipation. "What does the world look like?" The old man smiled, his heart swelling with emotion. "You'll see soon enough, my boy. Just keep looking." Suddenly, as if by magic, the blur before Daniel's eyes began to sharpen. Colors he had never seen before, vivid greens, bright blues, soft yellows, came into focus. His breath caught in his throat. "Dad, look!" Daniel exclaimed, his voice rising with excitement. "The trees, they're moving! They're going behind us!" Across the aisle, a young couple who had been quietly observing the boy couldn't help but exchange puzzled glances. The woman, with a look of pity in her eyes, whispered to her companion, "He must be a little slow for his age." But Daniel didn't notice. His eyes were wide open, taking in every detail. He saw birds flying high above, their wings cutting through the sky. He saw the rolling hills, the rivers that sparkled like diamonds under the sun. And then, as the train passed through a patch of clouds, he gasped in amazement. "Dad, look! The clouds, they're running with us." The young couple's curiosity turned to concern. They leaned over to the old man, the woman speaking softly but firmly. "Sir, have you considered taking your son to see a specialist? There might be something wrong with him." The old man turned to them, his eyes twinkling with a secret joy. He chuckled softly before replying, "We just came from the hospital. My son was blind from birth. Today is the first day he's seeing the world." The couple's faces flushed with embarrassment. They hadn't known. How could they? They had judged Daniel based on what they saw, not understanding the miracle unfolding before their eyes. As the train continued its journey, the young couple sat back in their seats, lost in thought. They watched as Daniel continued to marvel at the world outside, his laughter filling the carriage with a pure, infectious joy. It was a sound that touched everyone who heard it, reminding them of the simple wonders they often took for granted. "Do you think we've been too quick to judge others?" the woman asked her companion, her voice tinged with regret. He nodded slowly. "We didn't know his story. We assumed too much." As the train neared its destination, the old man leaned down to Daniel. "What do you think, son? Is it everything you imagined?" Daniel looked up at his father, his eyes shining with tears. "It's more beautiful than I ever dreamed, Dad. Thank you for this gift." The old man smiled, pulling his son close. "The world is full of wonders, Daniel. And sometimes, it's not just about what we see, but how we see it." As the train came to a stop, the young couple stood up, approaching the old man and Daniel. "We're sorry," the woman said softly. "We didn't know." The old man nodded kindly. "It's okay. We all have our own journeys, our own stories. What matters is that we learn from them." As Daniel and his father walked off the train, the young couple watched them go, their hearts a little lighter, their minds a little wiser. They had been reminded of an important truth, that everyone has a story, and it's not always what we think. Every single person on this planet has a story. Sometimes, the truth is more beautiful, more profound than we could ever imagine. So before you judge, take a moment to understand. You might just be surprised by what you discover. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more like it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Let's journey together to uncover the hidden stories around us, one at a time.